Oh yes, and then Mama Jesus Afamobo, Madam Theresa Memboji, so all the way from a bag and when Munia never get a beautiful friend of mine, you know, and an auntie to not a killing at Buckenzie, that's an area. You know, he's a bully in the former show, Gloria Okwulora. Yeah. But your actual name is Mrs Ozo, you know.
Ozemesnam.
Ozemesnam. Guinea me buginambo.
If I'm a woman and book on Koyemen parents number.
Okay, sorry, but it's in Ozemesnam.
Ozemesnam Ozama Mesukum.
Amen. Amen. So Mrs Ozo Aniedozie.
Oh, yes. Ozemesnam Rosemary, Kate, a short form of Catherine Aniedozie. Why Malogo?
Oh, sorry. Mrs Ozo Rosemary, Kate, in short form of Catherine Aniedozie. Why Malogo? Oh, yes. And what a lot of people don't know is that today is the day you turn 70 years.
Glory,
hey!
Glory.
Faithful
God.
Faithful God indeed.
Faithful God. Faithful God.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my faithful Father. Faithful God. You're my faithful Father. Only you deserve the glory in my life. Only you deserve all glory in my 70 years.
Oh yes, I can. The Lord is really doing a lot of things. Yes, we're so happy for you. I would have sang happy birthday, man. Faithful God days ago. We don't have all the time in the world. Okay? So if I get met on this episode is to talk about, you know, a lot of things that happened, you know, in our history, Nigeria's history, in form of a trivia, you know, questions. You know, our very first question in today's trivia is, what year did Nigeria become a republic?
Nigeria had her independence 1960.
That's correct.
The republic came up 1963.
Oh, I don't guess a republic is cool who won independence.
Why? You have to connect.
Bluetooth. I'm the what I heard with Bluetooth. Why 70 years? Okay, that was actually correct. Nigeria, you know, became a republic in 1963. That was the first time Nigeria became a republic. The second question is that goal already. You know, what year did we gain our independence? You've already answered that question. So
it's him not talking.
Why you fire extinguisher?
You don't need to.
Oh really?
It's God-given brain.
Oh yes. Fire
charging all the time.
Let's get on to the next question. When did the war start? The Nigerian Civil War.
What a big question. Do you want me to give you just preliminary of how it started?
Hey.
Or you want for the real date to take place 1967, but far behind that 66, there was everywhere from the north and west before getting down to the east.
Oh, wow! And so it really escalated in 67.
Yes,
that's actually correct. The Civil War began in 67, but just like you said, there was already looming. You know, there was a looming atmosphere for the war in 66. Beautiful. Now that you're 70 years, when we call back then, what you had to do. So this is not even your first experience at being old. You were actually old back then. Just to make you look old. Why was that happening back then during the war?
That was after the war.
He shot you.
Sorry, after the war.
That was immediately after the war that it was declared end of the war.
Okay.
And people were trying to get back to their places, to their destination, to their villages and towns from wherever they were hidden. And as they were coming, because of the defeat, the so-called defeat, they were still intimidating some of the people by the military of Nigeria. They took hold of the wives of some of us by force. And then some daughters that are even not quite ripe were taken away
And
by
ripe,
force.
you mean they are not of age?
They are not of age.
Aye.
And I was one of them, and we were prepared like old women in order to cross certain areas and escape from them. We were groomed to be like old women with our headgears and wrappers
Now, this is not
at the
from
tender
one.
age, and they will groom you how to walk, how to behave, what to do, and even give you this snuff powder, this thing, otaba.
And yeah,
You put it somewhere around your headgear, and you'll be behaving with a walking stick as an old woman in order to pass through.
so Africa as a young girl get to know there are chances that after apology.
Ojuku tomato, that's what they call the Biafran ladies then, both married and unmarried. And unfortunately, even some of our men were killed then in attempt to carry their wives.
Oh my goodness. So no, the military feel no. And for any Ojuku tomato, you know, in quotes.
Kai
Married
Ojuku
or
tomato,
married, young or old.
no matter the age.
So the need to potentially
Yes.
as a young girl back then, what that experience must have been quite something.
You see, you hold your stick. Hey, I'm not praying for any war again in this country.
Very necessary. Very
This
necessary. Now, our next question is, how long did the war last? The war started in 67. How long did the Civil War?
3 years. 3 years, yes,
Quite
3
educated.
years.
3 years was quite a long time to last in a war, especially when you were on the losing side back then. It must have been quite, the experience, and we're quite grateful that you lived through it and not beginning.
It was dreadful that time.
Oh.
I don't want to recount on what happened. It was dreadful, but we thank God.
Thank God. Look at you, 70 years, still living, still bouncing. Oh yes. Our next question is, who wrote the second Nigerian anthem, the second Nigerian national anthem?
The second Nigerian national anthem.
Yes, and when was it adopted?
Is it not Pa who? Pa who?
Who? Oh, who was it?
Remind me of is Pa
Oniedozie.
Pa Oniedozie.
Yes.
You went through your Google.
She what?
Otherwise you wouldn't have known, because you don't know about it.
So when was it adopted?
1970.
That's actually correct. It was written by Pa Oniedozie and adopted in 1970. As the second.
Arise, O compatriot.
Oh, yes.
And everybody arose.
Nigerians call obey.
Then when we started, Nigeria we held thee,
Yes,
our
that was the
own
anthem.
thy native land. Though tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we stand.
Oh yes.
Nigeria, sir, I'm proud to serve our country for the land. Here, this time and now, arise, O compatriot. Everybody arose. Arose.
Look at a 70-year-old woman remembering the very first Nigerian anthem. That's
Arose.
something. A lot of young people these days, it's about go the national anthem and I agree hustle. Go back again, Kazi go and they will get that. Kulosa mobo bugawo mobo come on traba yeah. What's the ego? Imapia? Inega ku
Could you imagine?
Hey,
Yeah. Very, very important.
very necessary. So our next question is, who designed the national flag, the Nigerian national flag?
Michael Taiwo Akinwumi designed it.
How many colors are in the flag?
It's 2 colors. Green,
Yes,
white,
no,
green.
3.
No, green, white, green
I
represents
know when they got that
the
green, white,
green.
green, I say 3
The
colors.
green is fertility and the white is purity.
Speaking of purity, does she understand the meaning of that word?
Jesus!
Ese,
She what?
Let us move on. The final thing we would like to, take on this show is the national pledge, the Nigerian national pledge. Yes. Is this something you can recite?
Oh.
Just to end the show, just to round it all up. The pledge. So, how do you do the pledge again? Let's do it.
oh, you raise your hand
Oh, okay.
and put your hand on your chest.
Oh,
I pledge Nigeria, my
I
country.
pledge to Nigeria, my country.
To be faithful.
To be faithful.
Loyal and honest.
Loyal and honest.
To serve Nigeria with all my strength.
To serve Nigeria with all my strength.
To defend her unity.
To defend her unity.
And uphold her honor.
And uphold her honor.
And glory.
And glory.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you. My God. How do you remember all this at
Why?
such an age?
Why?
Thank you so much for joining us on this amazing, beautiful Independence episode. And of course, our birthday episode to our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guest. Dalon Afam, Madam Theresa Memboji, and my guest was Mrs Ozo Rosemary Kate, in short for Catherine Aniedozie. Why am I love go? All the way from Agukunri. I'm gonna call in.
Jesus, a boogie waka. Jesus, a boogie waka. See, for all you have done and all you will do. Turn around. Jesus. A boogie. Can we do that now? 1, 2, 3, you say.